Hello everyone. Welcome back to the BS Coins World channel. Today, we're diving into something truly extraordinary in the world of coin collecting. The 2009 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that has captured the interest of collectors and investors alike. If you're a seasoned collector or just starting to learn about rare coins, this is a story you won't want to miss. In 2009, the U.S. Mint produced a set of Lincoln pennies to commemorate the 200th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Now, if you've spent any time with pennies, you'll know that every coin minted by the U.S. Mint has a mint mark, a small letter indicating where the coin was made. Typically, this letter can be found near the base of the coin's obverse, or head side. We're used to seeing mint marks like D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and of course P for Philadelphia. However, something unique happened with the 2009 pennies. For a brief period, a batch of these pennies was struck without a mint mark at all. This seemingly small detail turned out to be a huge deal in the world of coin collecting, and in today's video, we'll take a closer look at why this particular penny is so valuable, what makes it rare, and how much it's worth in today's market. First, let's go back to 2009. The U.S. Mint issued 4 different designs that year to honor President Lincoln, each representing a different phase of his life. The pennies were produced in different locations, with the Philadelphia Mint generally minting the coins without a mint mark. But here's where it gets interesting. While most coins from the Philadelphia Mint are marked with a P, a small portion of the 2009 pennies were struck with no mint mark at all. The absence of the mint mark created a rare error, which many collectors did not initially realize. So, why is this penny so valuable? Well, rarity is key in the world of coin collecting. The 2009 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is incredibly rare because so few were ever produced. At first, collectors overlooked it, but over time, word spread about this hidden gem. And the more people learned about it, the higher the demand became. As demand increased, prices began to soar. Now, you might be asking, what makes this penny different from others of its kind? After all, it's just a penny, right? Well, it's not just any penny. This coin is rare because of that crucial detail, the missing mint mark. It's not just the design or the year of issue that makes it special. It's the fact that it slipped through the cracks, so to speak, and now it stands out as one of the rarest pennies in circulation. As of recent years, the value of a 2009 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny has been steadily climbing, and it's now estimated that in pristine, uncirculated condition, the value of one of these coins can reach up to $2 million. Yes, you heard that right. $2 million. This isn't just a hypothetical number either. There have been documented sales where these coins, in exceptional condition, have fetched prices in that range. Now, you might be wondering, what makes a 2009 no-mint Mark penny worth $2 million? Well, condition is everything in the world of rare coins. The most valuable coins are those in the best possible condition, uncirculated with no signs of wear and tear. These pennies, with their exceptional quality, have become coveted by collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for them. If you happen to have one in your collection, it's time to do some serious research and consider having it appraised. The market for rare coins like this can be unpredictable, but the 2009 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny has certainly made waves in recent years. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for one of these coins, and even pennies in less than perfect condition can fetch impressive sums. So, if you come across one of these pennies, don't just toss it into your spare change jar. Take a closer look and consider having it evaluated. To give you a sense of what might happen if you find one of these pennies. There have been stories of collectors purchasing them for just a few dollars at coin shops or from online sellers, only to later discover they had a rare treasure worth thousands, even millions. It's a reminder that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, And sometimes the most valuable items are the ones we least expect. So, what should you do if you think you've found a 2009 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? First, take the time to carefully examine the coin. Check for any signs of wear, and pay attention to the overall quality. If you believe your coin may be valuable, take it to a professional coin grader for an official evaluation. Grading services will assess the condition of your coin and assign it a grade, which can greatly affect its value. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin can be. It's also worth noting that the market for rare coins is constantly changing. The value of the 2009 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could fluctuate depending on factors like demand, condition, and economic trends. However, one thing is clear: this coin has established itself as one of the most sought-after treasures in the world of numismatics. In conclusion, the 2009 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a true rarity, and its value in the coin collecting world has soared to astonishing heights. With a current market value reaching as high as $2 million, this penny has become one of the most coveted coins in circulation. So keep an eye out for it, and if you happen to find one, you may just have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own a piece of history. Thanks for tuning in today. If you found this video interesting, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more exciting coin collecting content. And as always, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you have any questions about the world of numismatics. We've got something that could be sitting in your pocket right now and might be worth a small fortune. We're talking about the 2002 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that could fetch up to $1 million on the market. But how did this happen? Why is it so valuable? Stick around to find out all the details. You'll want to know if you've got one of these rare pennies. So, let's break this down. The 2002 Abraham Lincoln penny was minted as part of a series commemorating the 16th President of the United States. As you may know, Lincoln pennies are common in most people's collections, but this one has a very special characteristic that makes it so rare and valuable. First, let's talk about what sets this penny apart from the millions of other 2002 pennies you'll find in circulation. If you take a close look at your 2002 penny, you'll see that it has no mint mark. Normally, every U.S. coin has a mint mark, which indicates where it was produced. Most pennies from 2002 were minted in Philadelphia, which is why they have a P mint mark. Coins from Denver, however, have a D mint mark. But here's the kicker. In 2002, a very small number of pennies were struck in Philadelphia without any mint mark at all. Now, you might be asking, why would this make such a big difference in the coin's value? Well, that's where the rarity comes into play. It was a mistake, a manufacturing error that created an extremely limited number of these coins. Most of the 2002 pennies were made with mint marks, so the no mint mark version is incredibly rare. It's so rare, in fact, that it has captured the attention of coin collectors and numismatists. The 2002 no mint mark Lincoln penny has become one of the most sought-after coins by collectors. At first, the error wasn't widely recognized, but as more and more collectors became aware of its rarity, the demand skyrocketed. As of today, a 2002 no mint mark penny in mint condition can fetch a significant price, sometimes even up to $1 million at auction. The exact value depends on its condition, with uncirculated, high-grade coins being the most valuable. If you're lucky enough to find one of these in your pocket change, and it's in pristine condition, you could be holding a coin worth far more than face value. Take a close look at the reverse side of your penny. If you don't see any mint mark under the date, and it's a 2002 coin, you might have something special on your hands. However, keep in mind that there are other factors that will determine its value, like the overall condition of the coin. If it has significant wear and tear, it's worth less. But if it's in great shape, particularly a proof or uncirculated coin, you could be in for a windfall. Now, before you start going through your jar of pennies, let's talk about how rare these coins really are. While no official count exists, it's believed that fewer than 100 of these no-mint mark pennies were ever produced. In fact, only a handful of these coins have been authenticated by major grading services, like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS). These authentication services are crucial because they give buyers confidence that the coin is legitimate and in its proper condition. So, if you think you've got one of these rare coins, it's a good idea to get it professionally graded. A professional grading service can assess the coin's condition, assign it a grade, and help you determine its value. Coins that are graded in mint condition will likely fetch the highest prices, but even coins in good condition can still be worth a pretty penny. But don't rush to sell it just yet. A coin like this is a true collector's item, and its value could increase even more as time goes on. The market for rare coins tends to appreciate over time, especially when it comes to historical coins like the Abraham Lincoln penny. Of course, not every 2002 penny is worth $1 million. The vast majority of these coins are common and won't bring you much more than the 1 cent face value. But that doesn't mean you should stop looking. After all, there are countless rare and valuable coins still out there, and you might just find the next big one. So what's the bottom line? The 2002 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is an incredibly rare and valuable coin, and it could be worth up to $1 million if you've got the right one. But don't forget, condition is key. If you think you might have one, take the time to check for the missing mint mark and get it graded by a professional. Who knows, you might just strike it rich with a coin you found in your pocket change. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1976 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and its astronomical value. You might be thinking, a penny from 1976? How valuable could that be? Well, stick around because this penny might just be worth more than you think, up to a whopping $1.1 million. Let's start by talking about what makes the 1976 mint mark penny so special. Most pennies minted in the 1970s were mass-produced, so they're not necessarily rare. However, in 1976, something went wrong at the Denver Mint. The 1976 Lincoln penny has a very unique and rare error. During the minting process, a specific die error occurred, which resulted in the production of a limited number of pennies with a distinctive flaw. This flaw, combined with the coin's rarity and the historical importance of the Lincoln penny series, makes it incredibly valuable to collectors today. Now you might be wondering, what exactly was the error? The most significant issue that occurred was a die clash. This is when two dies used to strike the coins come into contact without a planchet between them. As a result, some pennies were struck with doubled or even misaligned features. Over time, these unique misprints were discovered by sharp-eyed collectors, and rumors started circulating about the existence of a flawless 1976 penny that could be worth a fortune. So how did this penny go from being just another coin to a $1.1 million treasure? Well, in 2018, one of these rare 1976 pennies with a die error was sold at auction for over $1.1 million. This was the first time the coin had ever been sold publicly, and it shocked the numismatic world. What made it even more astounding was the fact that this was a single penny, just one. It wasn't a batch of rare coins, but rather one that stood out because of its perfect condition, rarity, and the significance of the error. This auction set a new precedent for how much some of these rare pennies could fetch in the market. If you're lucky enough to have a 1976 penny and you're wondering whether it could be worth a small fortune, let's talk about how to identify this error. First off, check the coin's condition. A penny in poor condition won't fetch anywhere near the price of a well-preserved one. The most important thing to look for is a noticeable doubling or misalignment of the features, particularly on Lincoln's face, the date, and the mint mark. If you see anything unusual, it could be worth having it professionally examined by a coin grading service. Rare pennies, like the 1976 era coin, have created an entire sub-market within coin collecting. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are in mint condition, contain errors, or have historical significance. And it's not just the 1976 penny that's driving the demand. There are other Lincoln pennies, from both the 1909 to 1950s era, with errors that can command impressive prices as well. If you're serious about coin collecting, it might be worth considering rare pennies as part of your investment strategy. You never know when you might find the next $1 million coin hidden in a jar of loose change. So, how can you determine the value of your own coin? The first step is to examine the penny carefully. Take a close look at the date, mint mark, and the overall condition. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition with no wear will always be more valuable than a worn one. You can also refer to coin guides and online auction results to get an idea of how much a similar coin might be worth. If you believe you've found something special, it's a good idea to get it authenticated by a professional coin grader. They'll evaluate your coin's authenticity, condition, and rarity to give you an accurate market value. When you send a coin in for professional grading, experts will look at several factors. The grade will be based on how well preserved the coin is. Coins are rated on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A coin with a grade of 60 or above is considered uncirculated, while coins with a lower grade have been in circulation and show signs of wear. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. The professionals will also assess the rarity of the die error, which can dramatically impact the price. Once you've had your 1976 penny authenticated, you might want to sell it. You have a few options when it comes to selling rare coins. You could go through an auction house, where collectors from around the world can bid on your coin. Alternatively, you could sell it privately to a coin dealer who specializes in rare items. Regardless of how you choose to sell it, be prepared for potential interest from around the world. These coins are in demand, and many buyers are looking to invest in high-quality examples. Whether you're collecting for fun or for investment, proper coin preservation is key. If you believe you have a coin with potential value, make sure to store it in a safe, secure place. Use acid-free holders and keep the coin away from heat, moisture, and harsh chemicals. A well-preserved coin will retain its value over time, while a damaged coin will lose value quickly. So there you have it. The 1976 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is far more than just a penny. It's a treasure that could make you a millionaire if you're lucky enough to own one. If you happen to stumble across a penny that looks a little different, it might be worth taking a closer look. Always be on the lookout for rare errors, because sometimes the smallest mistake can lead to a life-changing discovery. If you're into rare coins, or maybe you've just started digging into the world of numismatics, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Today, we're diving deep into a truly rare piece of U.S. coinage, the 2001 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This penny isn't your typical copper coin. In fact, if you happen to find one, it could be worth a lot more than you think, like $1.2 million more. Sounds incredible, right? Well, let's get into the details of how this rare coin came to be, and why it's making waves in the coin collecting community. Let's start with a bit of history. The U.S. Mint typically places a mint mark on coins produced at their various facilities, such as the D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But in 2001, something unusual happened. The minting process at the Philadelphia Mint left off the mint mark entirely, creating a very rare coin, the 2001 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. This wasn't supposed to happen. In fact, all Lincoln pennies produced that year should have had a P mint mark from Philadelphia. But for some reason, a handful of these coins were struck without the mint mark, creating a numismatic anomaly. The first time collectors really caught wind of this rare coin was in the mid-2000s, when a few penny collectors began noticing something strange about their 2001 pennies. Upon closer inspection, it became clear that the 2001 no-mint mark penny was a legitimate error, and not just any error, but one that could be worth a small fortune. At first, these coins were mistaken for just another oddity that would go unnoticed, but as more collectors took notice, the excitement started to build. Experts confirmed that only a limited number of these coins were produced, and with each passing year, their rarity and value only increased. So why is a 2001 no-mint mark penny worth so much? Let's break it down. First and foremost, rarity. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is king. The 2001 no-mint mark penny is incredibly scarce, with estimates suggesting that only a handful of these coins were ever produced. Another reason for its sky-high value is its historical significance. While most of us are familiar with the Abraham Lincoln penny, this coin represents a significant error in the U.S. Mint's usual process. It's a piece of history, and for serious collectors, owning something that deviates from the norm is highly coveted. Lastly, the market has also played a role in boosting its value. As more people have gotten into coin collecting, the demand for rare and unique coins has skyrocketed. A 2001 no-mint mark penny represents a chance for collectors to own a piece of U.S. history, and that has driven up its price. Now, let's get to the fun part, the value. While the exact worth of a 2001 no-mint mark penny can fluctuate depending on its condition and how well it's been preserved, the most valuable ones have been sold for upwards of $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, worth just 1 cent when it was originally minted, can fetch millions of dollars today. So, how do you know if you have one of these rare pennies? Well, the first thing to do is look for the mint mark. A penny with no mint mark from 2001 is a dead giveaway. But the condition of the coin matters too. Coins in better condition, those with little to no wear or damage, are the ones that fetch top dollar. The highest valued coins are those that have been preserved in pristine condition and, ideally, have been graded by a professional numismatist. If you think you have one of these rare pennies, don't rush to spend it. Instead, get it professionally evaluated. You can take it to a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a professional grading service to determine its authenticity and condition. If you get the stamp of approval, who knows? Your penny might be worth a lot more than you ever imagined. To wrap it up, the 2001 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a fascinating and valuable coin that showcases how something as small as a missing mint mark can have such a big impact on its worth. If you're a coin collector, or even just a casual observer, be sure to keep an eye out for this rare treasure. Who knows, you might just have one hiding in your pocket change. If you enjoyed learning about this rare coin and want more information about the world of numismatics, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on our future videos. We're diving deep into the world of rare coins, focusing on something that might be hiding in your spare change. We're talking about the 1988 D-Mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This unassuming coin might just be worth more than you ever imagined. If you think that your old pennies are only worth 1 cent, think again. Some of these can actually fetch up to $1.3 million. Stick around as we explore why and how you could find one. Let's start with some basics. The Lincoln penny, which has been around since 1909, is one of the most familiar and common coins in the United States. But it's not every year that a penny becomes rare and valuable. The 1988 D-Mint mark penny is one of those rare cases. So, what makes this penny so special? Most pennies from 1988 aren't anything extraordinary. You'll find them in change all over the country, typically worth just 1 cent. But it's the 1988 D version that's the star of this story. This penny was minted in Denver, which is why it has the D-Mint mark. Normally, The Denver Mint churned out billions of pennies in 1988. So why does this one stand out? The 1988 D. Lincoln penny is famous not because of a unique error or defect, but because of an extremely rare variety. You see, some of these pennies were struck incorrectly, leading to an off-center error. Now, when I say off-center, I mean that the coin wasn't perfectly aligned when it was pressed, resulting in part of the design being cut off. This makes these coins highly collectible because of their rarity. While a typical 1988 D penny might be worth only a couple of cents, those that show this off-center error can be worth a whole lot more. In fact, one of these rare 1988 D coins has recently been sold for a staggering $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.3 million. The value of coins is driven by rarity, demand, and condition. With the 1988 D penny, there's a combination of factors that make it so valuable. First, there were only a handful of these off-center errors created during minting, and only a few have survived in good condition. This makes them incredibly rare, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. Moreover, the market for rare coins has exploded in recent years, with collectors paying millions for pieces that are either historical or have some sort of unique error. The 1988 D penny with its off-center strike is a perfect example of this. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of history that has become a prized asset. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare pennies? Well, here are some things to look out for. The most obvious sign that you have a valuable 1988 D penny is the off-center strike. You'll notice that part of the design is missing or misaligned. This is a striking error that happened during the minting process. The better the condition of the coin, the more it's worth. Pennies that are in mint condition or have been well preserved can fetch a much higher price compared to those that are worn or damaged. If you think you've found one of these rare pennies, it's important to do some research on its provenance. Some collectors may pay more for coins that have been well documented or have an interesting backstory. So, let's say you found one of these coins. What do you do next? First, you should have the coin authenticated by a professional grading service, such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. They will examine the coin and assign it a grade, which can significantly affect its value. Once authenticated and graded, you can either sell it through an auction, a coin dealer, or through online platforms like eBay, where collectors are always on the lookout for rare finds. Make sure you get multiple appraisals to ensure you're getting the best deal possible. Finding a 1988 D Lincoln penny with an off-center error might sound like a long shot, but the next time you're going through your spare change, keep an eye out. You never know. You could have a rare coin worth more than a couple of cents. If you do find one, don't forget to get it authenticated, and you might be holding on to a coin worth over $1 million. That's it for today's video. I hope this information helps you in your coin hunting adventures. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin, and if you have, I'd love to hear your story. If you're a coin collector or even just someone interested in rare treasures, you're in for an exciting story today. We're diving into one of the most intriguing coins in American numismatics, the 1970 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This coin might look ordinary at first glance, but it has a fascinating story that could make it worth a fortune. And yes, we're talking about the incredible $1.4 million market value for the right piece. Let's explore why and how this happened. So, at first glance, the 1970 D penny seems like your typical coin. It's made of copper and has the image of Abraham Lincoln, a design that's been around for over a century now. The Mint Mark D on this penny indicates it was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the U.S. Mint's key locations. But what makes this coin special? Let's dive into that. In 1970, the United States Mint struck millions of pennies, and most of them were nothing out of the ordinary. However, something interesting happened during production. The 1970 penny had a rare error that went unnoticed by most people until much later. This error was a striking anomaly that turned this seemingly common penny into an incredibly valuable piece of history. What we're looking for in these rare 1970 pennies is a unique feature known as a double die error. Now, this might sound complicated, but don't worry. It simply means that during the minting process, the die that strikes the coin wasn't aligned properly, causing the design to be stamped more than once. The result? A subtle but distinct double impression of Lincoln's portrait and the date. With the right conditions and good eye for detail, a collector can spot these double die errors, and let me tell you, they are worth a lot more than the typical penny. While the standard 1970 penny might only fetch a few cents or dollars at most, the ones with this double die error can sell for thousands, or even more, depending on their condition and rarity. Over the years, collectors have uncovered a handful of these rare 1970 double die pennies, and they've been sold at auction for impressive sums. But in 2018, something incredible happened. One of these rare pennies, in near-perfect condition, sold for a jaw-dropping $1.4 million at an auction. That's right, $1.4 million for a penny. It's a testament to how valuable a rare coin can be, especially one with such an important error. Now, you may be wondering, how can you tell if your 1970 penny is one of these valuable double die coins? It's all about the details. You'll need to carefully inspect the coin for any signs of doubling, especially in Lincoln's eye, the date, and the motto "In God We Trust." You'll also want to check for wear and tear. The clearer the doubling, the more valuable the coin. But the value of a coin like this isn't just about the error. It's also about condition. A coin in excellent condition will naturally fetch a higher price than one that's heavily worn or damaged. Coins in mint or near-mint condition, known as uncirculated coins, are worth far more than those that have been circulated in change over the years. So what does this mean for you? If you're lucky enough to find a 1970 penny in your pocket change or in a jar of old coins, take a moment to check it over. You might just be holding on to something worth far more than a penny. But even if you don't have $1 million coin, don't worry. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and you never know what hidden gems you might find. In the end, the 1970 penny is a perfect example of how rarity, error, and condition can come together to create a valuable piece of history. So next time you're sifting through your coins, remember this: that little penny could be more than just pocket change. It could be your ticket to a rare find, worth thousands or even millions. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exciting coin discovery. If you have any questions or want to share your own coin finds, leave a comment below. If you're a coin collector or just someone who enjoys learning about rare finds, today's video is going to absolutely blow your mind. We're diving into one of the most fascinating and rare coins that many people may not even realize is in their pocket: the 1987 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark. This coin could be worth a staggering $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. Stick with me, and I'll explain exactly why this coin is so valuable, how to spot it, and how you can tell if you're holding on to something that could change your life. First, let's talk about the history behind this coin. The 1987 penny, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, is part of the long line of pennies that the U.S. Mint has produced since the early 1900s. What makes the 1987 penny so special is the absence of a mint mark. Normally, pennies have a small mint mark located below the date, indicating where they were struck: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. In 1987, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But in a few rare cases, there was a mistake in the minting process, and some pennies were released without any mint mark. This mistake is what has made this coin a holy grail for collectors. You might be wondering, how did such a mistake happen? Well, it all comes down to a mix-up at the US Mint. Mint marks are added to coins to distinguish which mint the coin came from. However, in 1987, some pennies were accidentally struck at the Philadelphia Mint without the mint mark, which was a huge oversight. These coins slipped through quality control and were released into circulation. And that's where the magic begins for collectors. While most coins from 1987 will have a mint mark, those without one are the ones that have caused such a stir in the numismatic world. Now, let's get to the most exciting part, the value. A typical 1987 penny with a mint mark is worth only a few cents. However, the ones without a mint mark, which are incredibly rare, have been known to sell for extraordinary amounts. In fact, the current market value for a 1987 Lincoln penny with no mint mark can reach up to a staggering $1.5 million, depending on the coin's condition. This makes it one of the most valuable modern coins in existence today. The reason these coins are so highly valued is not just because they are rare, but because they represent an anomaly in the minting process. Collectors prize mistakes and errors because they are part of the coin's history, making them even more precious. If you're lucky enough to find one of these in your collection, or even in your pocket change, you could be holding on to a piece of American history that's worth more than most people's homes. So, how do you know if you have one of these rare 1987 pennies with no mint mark? First, you need to check the date on the coin. It should clearly read 1987. Then, flip it over and look at the reverse side. There should be no mint mark under the date. If you find a 1987 penny without a mint mark, it's time to check the condition of the coin. Like with all rare coins, condition plays a huge role in the value. A coin in mint condition, with no wear or damage, is worth much more than one that's been heavily circulated or damaged. Keep in mind that finding one of these coins in mint condition is extremely rare, which is what makes them so valuable. But even if the coin is not in perfect condition, it can still be worth a significant amount more than your typical penny. You may be wondering why a simple mistake could lead to such an extraordinary value. It all boils down to the rarity and the story behind the coin. Coins that have errors or unique features are often more valuable because they are considered historical anomalies. In the case of the 1987 penny with no mint mark, the fact that this coin was struck and released into circulation despite the mistake makes it a highly sought-after item for collectors. There are only a limited number of these coins out there, and as the years go on, their rarity and value continue to grow. Over the past few years, we've seen an increase in the demand for rare coins, especially those with minting errors. As collectors become more interested in modern coinage and historical anomalies, coins like the 1987 Lincoln penny without a mint mark have skyrocketed in value. If you happen to find one of these pennies, it might be a good idea to have it appraised and stored carefully. Some experts predict that as time goes on, the value of these coins will only continue to rise. If you think you have one of these rare 1987 pennies, the first thing you should do is examine it carefully. Look for any signs of wear, scratches, or other damage that could affect its value. Then, take it to a professional coin dealer or numismatist who can accurately assess its condition and provide an estimate of its value. In some cases, a coin that's been properly preserved and graded by a professional could be worth far more than you might imagine. To sum it all up, the 1987 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark is a true treasure in the world of coin collecting. Its rarity, historical significance, and unique minting error have made it one of the most valuable pennies in circulation today, with a market value reaching up to $1.5 million. If you come across one of these pennies, be sure to handle it with care and have it professionally appraised, because you could be holding on to a life-changing piece of American history. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the 1987 penny and want to hear more about rare coins, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting tips. And don't forget to comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. I'd love to hear your stories.